All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a Boston Celtics video. By the time a lot of you guys watch this, I think they'll have taken down the Milwaukee Bucks, which will get them a little bit closer to the first seed. Unfortunately, there's only 3 games left at the time of this recording, so I think Miami is going to be able to hang on to that first seed. But nonetheless, man, Boston is definitely the hottest team in the Eastern Conference. I think you could argue, they're definitely one of, if not the hottest team in the 2022 calendar year, to just be honest. The last 3 months, the last 10 weeks at the very least, have just been domination by the Boston Celtics. And we have this stat here: the Boston Celtics have actually had the highest point differential in the entire league in their last 30 games with 420 plus. 420 point differential. Let me give you some context here. Second place, Memphis Grizzlies, who also have been absolutely red hot with or without Ja Morant. That is one of the hottest teams in the entire NBA. Well, they're number 2 with a 284 point differential. So pretty much Boston has just been dominating opponents here. And we actually have a stat, we have a Jaylen Brown stat here also, because he is got the longest active streak in the NBA right now in his last 10 games, 10 straight games scoring over 25 points. He's averaging 28.5, 55.7 from the field, and then 50% from downtown, which is an unbelievable stat. So Boston really has everything going for him right now. When Tatum scores, I want to say over 20, Boston is like 23-5, some stat like that. And they have the best defense in the entire NBA. They are ranked number 1 in defense with a 106.5 defensive rating, which is super impressive. Super impressive. So welcome back to the channel, man. If you guys want more Celtics videos, I post Celtics content all the time along with daily NBA videos. So hit the like button, hit that sub for new. Man, I have Boston coming out of the East. As of right now, if I had to pick a team, I would probably say Boston. Milwaukee's right there with them, though. I think Boston and Milwaukee are the 2 most talented, deepest teams in the entire NBA. Now, if Boston hadn't made the midseason acquisitions that they did, and I know Robert Williams is out, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Daniel Theis, it's one of those where you're like, Daniel Theis having a big impact. Like, yes, Daniel Theis is having a big impact off of the bench, currently starting in wake of Robert Williams. That's exactly why you went out and you traded for Theis, not only to bolster up your bench, but in case something like this were to happen. I mean, Daniel Theis has been doing a phenomenal job filling in for Robert Williams, who, might I add, is having a phenomenal season. Hopefully he comes back at some point in round 1, but I think just rather be safe than sorry. I would imagine Robert Williams comes back first game of round 2, just so they don't rush anything, because like I said, Boston, you're the best, or one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. You're going to be making a push for the NBA Finals or the Eastern Conference Finals at the very least. So you want to make sure your guys are fully healthy. You don't want to jeopardize anything that could possibly happen. And like I said, man, Daniel Theis has been doing a phenomenal job. Now, with 3 games remaining in the season, 2 games most likely by the time this video is out, I don't really want to stress about seeding. Right now there's a huge tie between Milwaukee, Boston, and Philadelphia for 2, 3, and 4. So it's such a logjam. You also have Miami just has a 2-game lead as the 1 seed right now. So, once we get the playoff seedings, which for Boston's sake might have to happen after the play-in tournament if they do get the 1 or 2 seed, that's when we'll kind of start, diving into predictions, this is what you should look out for. This is what I want Boston to do. This is what they've got to look out for. So we'll hold off on that for right now. But they're the best, if not one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. And Derek White, I'll use as another example. Phenomenal signing, phenomenal trade. You go out, you get Daniel Theis, you get Derek White, and just like that, I mean, you already had a pretty solid bench. Boston had a pretty solid bench, but the players you gave up versus the players you received, it was almost unfair. They were almost like 2K trades. Derek White, I mean, that was like a literal 2K trade, literally. Richardson, I still can't really get over that. Then you also have guys like Peyton Pritchard coming off of the bench who have been absolutely huge for him, not only playmaking, but just draining threes. Grant Williams, very promising basketball player. He's been around the league for a handful of years, so you don't have to really worry oh, is he going to choke during, the big time? So you have Brown, you got Tatum. Those two guys have been red hot all season for the most part, I guess, minus the first month of this season when both of them are kind of trying to get back into the gist of things. But you have a red hot Brown, you have a red hot Tatum. Robert Williams will be back at one point in the playoffs. Marcus Smart has had a phenomenal season, absolutely phenomenal season. He's kind of like the heart. He kind of sets that tone for me, in my opinion. I feel like he just kind of sets that tone, especially defensively. He's not taking no nonsense. He's going to get up. He's going to check you. He's going to hand check you. He's going to get up all up in your space. He's going to make opposing guards, whoever the hell he's guarding, he's going to make them feel as uncomfortable as they possibly can. But I also want to give a lot of kudos, a lot of props to his playmaking abilities this season, because I feel like he took a huge jump from last year, or even just the past couple of seasons, to this season, as far as just distributing the basketball, getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line, making threes. He's just doing everything you need a starting point guard to do. And he just complements Tatum and Brown so nicely. He just complements them so nicely. So, Boston, I think, obviously a team ranked number one defensively, you kind of have to give them respect, whether you want to or not. But it's going to be a really interesting, really interesting playoff run for Boston, because, like I said, first month of the season, Tatum, Brown, they weren't really connecting. Boston Celtics in general, they just weren't really connecting, but they trusted the process. They have stuck to the system. They've made adjustments when they've needed to make adjustments, and they've just truly bought in, and you can see it's paying off dividends right now. So like I said, I do anticipate Boston to take down Milwaukee tonight, which should give them, I think, a win against Milwaukee should give them solo lead for second place, because I also think Toronto's going to take down Philadelphia. So Boston, 2 seed, I think is very likely. Who are you going to play? That remains to be seen. Atlanta, Charlotte, who really knows how that, Cleveland, who really knows how that play-in tournament's going to look when it's all said and done. So that's it for today, man. Like I said, if you want more Celtics videos, hit the like button, hit that sub button. I post a ton of them every single week, along with daily NBA videos. Let's try and hit 100 likes on today's video, and let me know, how far do you think Boston's getting in the playoffs? How far do you think they're going to go? Playoffs? First round exit, second round exit, Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals, or win the NBA Finals? Let me know down below. Peace.